Hi guys, it's Saturday 30th of April, which means that on the 1st of May, well actually today, right, we'll release the ISOs for May. So the May edition. What we always do is what's new. So two videos are quite essential, and the what's new video is what changes and what applications we removed, what applications we added, and we'll go over that in a separate video. This is the video how to stay rolling, because it's important to update, and sometimes we get things to teach, and all these update videos are on the playlist of YouTube. So in there are things like, hey guys, if you have been waiting with updating for like 6 months or something like that, the reflex is first do a sudo pacman -s ArcoLinux keyring, get the keys in. That's the only nuisance or trouble or whatever you want to call it, but the keys is something that matters. It's a signing of a package that a particular person has created that package, keys, right? But in this case, I believe there were almost zero issues, or not even any issue. So we start off in VirtualBox with the ISO of April, and we make always a rolling video. So we update the system. Basically we say, okay, let's update, and that gives us an alias basically, and here the knowledge starts, right? What should I do? Yes, no. If you type alias update, you see what's behind it, sudo pacman -s because we teach you to learn ArcoLinux. And yes, it's fun, and it's efficient to create aliases, which is a lot smarter and lots faster to type. Update is faster than sudo pacman -s. Simple as that. Same for up all and all that. So if you type alias, this is what you check out. This is what will help you when things go bad, or just being efficient to change from bash to fish to zsh is all here. Okay, so let's have a look. Is there anything special? I don't think from April to March, April to May, that there's a problem. Just this one, replace CRDA with core wireless regdb. We've seen that in the guys that are a little bit further down our university, they know that there's a package called ArchISO. It's the way to install or to create an ArcoLinux ISO. And in there is this list. In there used to be, right, CRDA, and the guys of ArcoLinux said, you know what, this package and that package provide the same thing, let's just replace it, and let's forget about CRDA, and wireless regdb is going to be the official package. So basically, if you get things like that, you say yes, right? In short, say yes. And then we have a problem removing Node.js from target list because it conflicts with Node.js LTS Gallium. So no, yes, yes, right? If it conflicts, it conflicts. Pacman can't. Well, Pacman is Pacman, and it has its perks and it has its disadvantages and so on. So you have to follow it along and let it stay in control of the system. And you say yes. But remember, right? The only thing you need to do, if you say, I'm going to remove this or remove that, just write it down. Jot it down on a paper. Say, okay, I remove this. And later on, reinstall it. See if that works. So first, if something blocks you in the updating, then think, right? Yes, doesn't work, then it's no. No doesn't work, then it's yes. Simple. It's 50-50 chance. But mostly it's gonna be a yes, right? And here we have the total size. So in 1 month's time, from April, beginning of April and beginning of May, and that's normal, right? If you're living in part of the world where internet is not in abundance and electricity either, and so on, maybe, right, Arch is not something for you. That's up to you to decide. And then we install all our packages. It matters where they're coming from. I could get my packages from China, so to speak, and that means that it's going to travel from one part of the world to the other, which means it's going to download very slow. So the end mirror list is another alias that says your packages are coming from mirror ospec. For me that's Sweden, for me that's the best possible server ever. But that's me, right? So there are many things to rearrange these servers. These are all Arch servers, ArcoLinux servers, ArcoLinux does not have anything to do with Arco, right? Arch is the basis, the foundation on which we work, but only 3% of your operating system is coming from ArcoLinux, which has its own servers. So again, something to learn. Keys. There we go. Now, importing keys is a challenge, always. And you can say, yes, try to import it, but often that fails. It depends on the servers that it's linked to, depends on your settings and all that. But it gives me this video another chance, probably, to say, go and install sudo pacman -s ArcoLinux keyring. So I keep saying yes, yes, go get it, go get it. I can try it again. So you see, I've removed everything and it said remove this, remove that. And it keeps asking for Maxime Goudin. Thank you very much for making it difficult for our users. So it's an ArcoLinux guy. And the key is not on my computer system, not on my local machine. And Pacman says, hey, it's corrupted, it's invalid, it's not valid, and voila, everything stops. Sudo pacman -s ArcoLinux keyring. Go get me the keys. And you see that even now these numbers are exactly the same thing, but I do reinstall them and we do update it. And then we wonder, right? And it's again the libini thing package. There's always one culprit, right? There's always some key that's not gonna be okay, but follow the tips and off we go, right? Suddenly everything installs just fine. I did install ArcoLinux keyring again. And then I'm not showing videos about Pamac, which is all red here. And by the way, that's ArcoLinux, Pamac all, that's the one that works. If you say yay Pamac or paru Pamac, so that's an AOR helper, Arch user repository, AOR. Then you see there are many possibilities online. And at this point in time, that's good to see that there is a video where it says, hey, it doesn't work. It can be, and it happens sometimes, let's say 2-3 times per year, that the AOR website is just offline. Now it works. So it might have been a glitch. And we have our own ArcoLinux Pamac all that works. When you open it, it has nice icons and so on, right? Now, there are other references here as well on the AOR. Some of them will work from the AOR and others won't work from the AOR. But we are using our own ArcoLinux Pamac all. Just saying, that's a bit of the other video, what is new. We just decided to keep the fix because basically it's a fix for Pamac all. We just put the word in front of it, ArcoLinux Pamac all, and ours is not out of date because we built it ourselves straight from the Manjaro GitHub, because Pamac is from Manjaro. All right, so that's the bit that I'm saying that's coming from the what's new video. That's new. For the rest, why did I say Pamac, right? Because this is the graphical installer and updater, and often don't use it. Like in 1% of the videos probably I'll use Pamac. I'll do use it to analyze things, to look for names and see what a package contains, what files and folders will be put on my system. But basically I use this, and my advice is just keep looking at it and read. And sometimes you see things and say, oh, look at that module conflicting. I have a real tag. Which number do I have, right? And there's something about blacklisting. There's certainly a word to Google, Arch, Linux, blacklist, Procom, and real tag, and so on and so on. What is blacklist about? All right. So information is available. The programmers, not us, the ArcoLinux developers, and not even the ArcoLinux guys. Yeah. Well, it depends, right? But there are developers out there, and they make packages, and ArcoLinux puts them on ArcoLinux. They repackage it, make a package build, and the information, where is it coming from? From the package build. And these things, these informations, are interesting. Not maybe in the beginning as a beginner of ArcoLinux or ArcoLinux, but later, right? Knowing that ArcoLinux ZSH, that we, right, made a change in the ZSH, which is a bash, like bash and ZSH and fish, right, a shell, that we changed something, and it's gonna be in the etc skel. It's not on your home directory, so it will not be applied on your home directory. It will be written to a specific folder, and if you don't do anything, it will never be used. Simple as that. Never be used. And there is a alias skel that makes our life easy, but also maybe frustrating. So go learn about the word skel. The guys who can read a little bit of bash scripting, they read and say, okay, it's just that. Okay, it's gonna make a copy, everything inside in your .config, that'll make a backup, as it says here. And then later on, everything, that's the most important thing, everything will be overwritten. Your system will be overwritten. So if you don't want to have that, don't use skel. And here we have straight from the Manjaro thing, right? ArcoLinux, Pamac all. Oh, sorry. So going over these things is educational. Gives you something. And say, oh, look, there's a new mirror list installed. But the mirror list is not used. The new mirror list is this name, but it's just a file. It will never be used, ever. Is it important? Not in this case, because our mirror list that we have is good, right? And the mirror list is just what I showed you, and mirror list. That's this. So I know this is the best possible server for me. Living in Belgium, Sweden is the best. So I don't want this to be overwritten. So that's a good thing. Pamac, Pacman did not overwrite it. The new guy is called PacNew and will never be used. So here we have the name, the conflict, Node.js, LTS, Gallium for some kind of package. I don't know which one was it again. Yeah, I don't know. NPM, I don't know. Anyway, that's the conflict that we saw. And we said yes, right? And everything is in. So a lot of packages are in. And the only thing you have to do after such a big update, and it says here, important Linux packages have changed, reboot is recommended, and that's all you need to do. Sudo reboot, right? Or in short, we have SR, another alias, because hey, we have to type it all the time. And one last thing, of course, what I do is this skel thing. And if I wouldn't have an alias, I would do this. Everything that's new is in here. And you say, Eric, there's nothing there. View, show hidden files. Ah, okay. So Control A, Control C, Eric, and you guessed it, Control V. So everything that's double that we have in one place and the other place will be replaced, will be overwritten. And that's why the skel is handy, because it will make a config and a backup of the config, and that's that. So what I could do educational wise is do this, Control C, Control V. This is the April. This is the April look, right? The April settings. When I do now a Control V, sorry, my mistake. That's again the same thing. So go back. That's interesting to know. These go back thing. So back to etc skel, Control A, Control C, Eric, and Control V. So now it gets, when I do Control V, it will be, oh, it will be overwritten. There is another button. We have lots of shortcuts. The fingers have to be correct. Replace all. 18.6 megabyte, which is nothing, right? But it is the heart and the core of the system. What wallpaper? Why the icon theme? What logo here? What right mouse click here? So all of these things are often in the .config. These are all the things, all the blue guys have been overwritten. And if you did something, you say, oh my God, everything is gone, right? Because that's skel. Back to the beginning. And that's a good thing because people want to learn about our 28 desktops. And there are lots of tiling window managers in there. And when you break the code, it won't do you any good anymore. It will just stop working. And maybe some kind of error. But often it's just back to the SDM, back to the display manager, and you're stuck. And if you type skel, basically you put the backup, our code for ArcoLinux, back over it, and it will work again. So it will also be a lifesaver. So if you want to know, these things of course are all overwritten, so I can't tell what changed to it, but here I can, because I made a copy. I can say have a look, right mouse click, compare. We have melt installed. We don't want to see what's the same. We couldn't care less what's the same. We want to know what's new. So some things have changed here, and those are not important. Fish. So in 1 month's time, we'll change some of the settings that we say, okay, we want to change variety is recently has been updated, and that's a new line, not Geo National Geographic photo of the day. Stuff like that. So you see, something changed here. The panel, some things here. You can easily follow along technically. Not that it's required, right? If you want to learn, and that's the distro, if you want to learn something. I forgot always when I was on VMware, we can make our screen full screen. So in my case, 1920 and 1080, so we have full monitor use. But I always forgot the name, start VMware. So, okay, I said I'm gonna switch it around because often you look for something VMware. So VMware start. So that's a new alias. It does exactly the same as the other, but it's in the VMware thing. If you start typing and then tap, you see, yeah, VMware start. That's the one that says go and make this screen full size. Things like that. Bash RC has the same, and ZSH has the same. All kinds of elements. And that's how we learn, by comparing and see what changed, right? And etc skel, all the changes, the new things are available there. If you want it available, you should copy paste it manually, or like in our case, we just do a skel because it's so easy. So this is a skel, and that's this. That's the backup, and that's the new stuff is now in here. And this is, of course, a backup of the new stuff, right? Because we didn't do it before. We're just showing you that indeed, everything is there. If you did make changes to your, let's say it's not there, to your polybar, it's gonna be here as well. Then it's there. Your config is there. It's saved. All right. Don't need this. Don't need that. We should reboot and see if everything is fine, because the video is already 20 minutes. A little bit of tea. Boot existing OS. So this is the ISO that tries to boot. You should get it out of the VirtualBox, get it out of VMware, get it out of QEMU, get it out of boxes, and then of course you see this. the grub boot menu. This I don't want to see, this I don't want to see. Do remember, if the servers, if you say update and say, oh my god, it's going too slow, and remember that there are different servers around the globe, right? That's one button, so one way is there. There is lots of mirror things, so check out the aliases again. Mirror, and there is mirror S, and there is mirror D, mirror A, mirror X. So all these mirror things, and there's also RAM. So lots of applications, because of course it matters. How fast is it downloading? Do remember that the internet service provider where you have bought your internet, that's the bottleneck, right? That's the actually real bottleneck. If you pay for a small internet connection, not so fast, small volume, etc., yeah, you won't get anything faster than that. It's always, that's the main bottleneck. So if you have the fastest internet, you look out for the fastest server, and that's it. That's the optimum way of doing things. So voila, we do maybe an up all. That's another command, another alias. That's for people who have more stuff installed. Do it. Let's do a Control-C and have a look. So up all, and then the video will be finished. So alias, up all, and you read. So okay, they're using Paru, Yay, Packer, Yaourt. What did we have all these years back, right? So today we have Paru and Yay, and we used to have Trizen. So, and there are even others. I mean, there are lots of AOR helpers. Just type arch wiki AOR helper, enter, and go read how many there are. So let's see, what does he want? What does he want to do? Wants to build something. AOR GNOME packages not in the AOR. So things have gone already. We could explain that as well. Electron 9 is the one he wants to build. Electron 9. So Electron 9 is not on ArcoLinux anymore. If you have it on the system, let's rephrase. ArcoLinux 9 was on the ArcoLinux repos. They decided to move it out of it. Then it moves to the AOR, Arch User Repository, and it gets built. Right? In this case, it says, I'm from the AOR. That's the name. I'm gonna build it. Now the question is, do you need it? Building is fine, it's fun, but do you need it? So it can be that the application, that whatever it was, right, needs now number 9, 10, 11, 12, something else but 9. Anything else but 9. And if you can do this, sudo pacman -r electron, and pacman says yes, you can remove it, then basically there is no package that needs it. Electron 9 is not needed anymore. So one of our packages got another dependency. Might be 10, might be 11, 12, 13. I believe we are already at 15 or something. We don't have to believe, right? We just type yay electron, Paru electron, and look at the numbers that we have. We're at 17. So these applications depend on a certain version. And yes, so we can remove Electron 9 from our system. Not that I'm gonna put it in a script, because that's something we should say as well. There is in the bin, the stay rolling 2022, a folder going from 2204 to 05, so April to May, and we just said nothing to do. Right? Nothing to do is depends, right? We won't push you into ArcoLinux Pamac all, which is this one. Everything works just fine. Nice icons and all that. If you want to have preferences and go and get third party going, AOR, this will work, Flatpak will work, and so on, and Snap. You can put all of these on, which I'm not doing myself, but it's there. And you see here, Snap is available already. So that's our ArcoLinux Pamac all. You choose it. We'll not put it in a script or anything. to push it. That's why we have these videos. You decide. So Electron 9 is gone. Again, your decision, because maybe you have an application on there that I don't know, right? People can install more stuff from the AWR, and yeah, if you need it, you need it, just keep it. GNOME system log is an application that's gone. It's not anymore on ArcoLinux. It's not anymore on AWR, but we still have it. So the system log, I think it's this one, GNOME system log. Let's see if that's correct what I'm saying. There is no about, but here's the about. Yeah, GNOME system log. Yeah, it works, huh? It still works. It just shows you what's in the user var log, basically. I don't know. It's up to you if you want to keep it or not. It will work. It just shows that it's not on Arch, not on AUR, and it's our thing, right? It's now still available on the ArcoLinux repositories, and it works until it breaks. And let's see if we can remove this one. Prox riserfs. So riserfs is a file system. Duff, I am not on riser, otherwise it would say here riserfs. So ext4, so basically I don't need it. So the guys who have chosen riserfs see what happens. If Pacman does not need it, you can remove it. As simple as that. So there's a failsafe inside the package building that this depends on that, and you can't remove it, and it will tell you. And if you do want to remove it, there is of course in Pacman an option, but it's the failsafe. It's the idea that you can't remove a package that another package needs a dependency. You can't remove dependencies, and that's a good thing, right? So voila, we're not going to make scripts for that, just analyze. We can't put artificial intelligence in scripts. You have to think about it. That's it. And that's F12. If you did not know it, the drop down menu, sometime years ago we implemented, and if it's not there, we feel it's not good. It's naked. But do remember, if there's a lock, if sometimes you see Pacman as there's a lock, remember the F12, right? It does not show, it's up there, and it might be locked because you say here something in the genre of install me, I don't know, Firefox, voila, and you just do F12 now, so it's proceed with installation, yes, no, and then you stop. Somebody called in the phone, F12, it's gone, and then you say, let's install something else. No. Brave. And it says unable to log database. Why? Because on a different desktop or in F12, you've got it open. Firefox is already open, you're working, and there can be only one Pacman instance. If you really know that everything is closed, no Pacman open anywhere, then we have an alias for you, unlock, and basically it does this: remove me the file that we can find in var. Remove the file that we have in var lib Pacman. Pacman says I'm busy, and he puts a log there, so you can't run Pacman twice, which will probably mess things up, and that's the idea. Let's put a log file there so that only one instance of Pacman can run, which is this one. That's the first one. All right, now that has well, another piece of knowledge that maybe you did not know yet. And that's the idea of ArcoLinux, right? Learning. We want to keep you on your toes and learn about Arch Linux distributions in general and about Linux. So that here the how to stay rolling video ends. And there's another one for the beginning of May. What is new since April? What did we change? What things are interesting to remember? All right. Cheers.